After I collapsed during a staff presentation, the paramedic said, "We tried every number, no answer. No one came." But that night, my sister tagged me in a photo, celebrating family without the drama. I did not comment. 4 days later, still on IV, my phone lit up 73 missed calls. And a text from my dad. "Pick up. This is bigger than you realize. It's serious." I did. And then, the fluorescent lights of the conference room were the last thing I saw before the floor rushed up to meet me. My chest felt like it was being crushed in a vice. I was 28, working 90-hour weeks to keep my family's logistics company afloat, and my body finally gave out during the most critical investor pitch of my life. When I woke up, the blinding white lights of a hospital room had replaced the boardroom. A paramedic was standing near the door, charting something on a tablet. He noticed my eyes open and gave me a sympathetic, tight-lipped smile. "Welcome back," he said gently. "You had a minor cardiac event. Severe stress-induced." I tried to sit up, a web of wires pulling at my chest. "My family." "Did you?" The paramedic stopped writing and looked down. "We tried every number in your emergency contacts." "Repeatedly," he said softly. No answer. "We even left voicemails." No one came. I stared at the ceiling. The silence in the room was deafening. My phone was resting on the tray table. I reached for it with a trembling, IV-bruised hand. There were no missed calls, no texts checking in, but there was a notification. My sister Chloe had tagged me in a photo on Instagram. I clicked it. It was a picture of my parents, my sister, and her husband sitting at a high-end steakhouse, raising expensive glasses of wine. The caption read, "Celebrating family tonight. So nice to enjoy a peaceful dinner without the drama." They thought my hospital calls were drama. They thought I was pulling a stunt to interrupt their evening. They had actively watched their phones ring with a hospital caller ID, looked at each other and pressed decline. Something inside me just snapped. It wasn't a loud, angry snap. It was a cold, quiet fracture. I didn't comment on the photo. I didn't call them. I just locked my phone, set it face down, and closed my eyes. For 4 days, I lay in that hospital bed. I watched the IV fluid drip line by line. I ate the terrible Jell-O. I talked to the nurses. I also made arrangements with a lawyer from my bed. On the evening of the 4th day, my phone finally lit up. Not with one call, with an avalanche. My screen flashed relentlessly. By the time it paused, I had 73 missed calls. Then a text from my dad came through. "Pick up. This is bigger than you realize. It's serious." I let it ring one more time before I finally swiped to answer. "Where the hell are you?" My dad screamed into the receiver. His voice was shrill, completely unhinged. "I'm in the cardiac ward at St. Jude's," I said. My voice was flat, completely devoid of emotion. "What? No, listen to me. You need to get to a computer right now," he stammered, entirely glossing over what I just said. "The bank just locked the company accounts. We got a notice of immediate foreclosure on the warehouse. The investors from Tuesday pulled out." "What did you do?" I looked at the heart monitor, steadily keeping my rhythm. "I had a heart attack on Tuesday, Dad," I said coldly. During the pitch, there was a dead silence on the line. "The hospital called you," I continued. "They called Chloe. They called Mom. They told you it was a medical emergency regarding me. You pressed decline. You went to a steakhouse. We thought you were just trying to ruin Chloe's dinner." "You're always so stressed. We thought you were just being dramatic." "Right, drama." I adjusted my pillow. "Because I didn't finish the pitch, the investors backed out. And because you ignored the hospital's calls, no one was there to sign the 48-hour extension on our bridge loan as my proxy." I could hear his ragged breathing through the phone. "The grace period expired yesterday," I told him. "The bank auto-defaulted the loan. The company is gone. You have to fix this," he begged, his voice cracking into a sob. "My house is tied to that collateral. We'll lose everything." "I can't," I replied calmly. "My lawyer already filed for personal medical bankruptcy for me. I legally severed myself from the LLC yesterday morning." You can't just abandon your family," he yelled. "I didn't," I whispered. "I was dying on a stretcher, and you were celebrating without the drama." I hung up the phone. I blocked their numbers, leaned back against the cheap hospital pillows, and for the first time in years, I slept perfectly.